New tonight, a recent study shows over 60% of healthcare workers said COVID-19 had a negative impact on their mental health. So we're starting to turn a corner. Many healthcare workers are just now starting to process the trauma they experienced over the past year. Local 5's Eva Anderson spoke to a Clive gym owner who is also an emergency room nurse. She says therapy got her life back on track.
In the emergency department, like, summer is normally trauma season. Like, you have some expectations of busiest times of the year.
But despite seeing daily trauma throughout 20 years serving as an ER charge nurse, nothing could prepare Darci Evans for the personal trauma she felt seeing patient after patient die with no family around.
They just need to see their person, and to not be able to give them that just like tore me apart.
It was personal for Darci, who was by her own mother's side when her mom died after a battle with chronic lung disease when Darci was 23.
She was so scared to die alone. Like, that haunts me, that I can't imagine that there's people that didn't have their family at their bedside.
Darci said her life began to spin out of control.
Finally, I was just like, I just can't do this. I'm not sleeping.
But when her primary care physician suggested mental health therapy,
I'm an ER nurse. Like, I have a dark sense of humor. I'm like, I can't handle sitting in a room and talking about feelings.
But her doctor convinced her therapists, like Friends You Choose, come in a range of personalities, and the self-proclaimed cynical nurse found a perfect fit.
At the end of the first session, I was just like, oh my gosh, that was amazing.
A weight was lifted, but therapist Joby Holcomb says many healthcare workers may still be holding on to that pain.
Now is when we start to see maybe some of those symptoms actually come out.
Holcomb says many first responders may now start to experience elements of PTSD.
Trauma does tend to kind of rear its ugly head when things tend to be a lot more calm or a lot more at peace.
Darci's finding peace in the vaccine and the fact she now has a professional to talk to. She sees it kind of like going to the gym.
My whole goal is just to be present in the moment and to celebrate the fact I got through the door.
And urges others who may be on the fence about seeking help to take the leap.
Once we shift that mindset and we have all these people actively engaging in mental wellness, like, that's how we're going to make changes and how we're going to come out of COVID.
Eva Anderson, Local 5 News, We Are Iowa.